everybody, my name is Rachel and I run the youth theatre at the Princess Hall for the 4 to 6 year olds and the 5 to 8 year olds. I hope you're all well. This is one of my videos. We're doing something called #interval at home. As you can see, I'm certainly at home in my bedroom. I'm doing a series of videos about all things drama. So we've been looking at vocal warm-ups, diction, concentration. There's lots of content on the Princess Hall website. So it's all under it's under the Interval at Home tab on the website, or you can look on our social media, so our Facebook page, for example, to find those videos. But the thing I'm talking about today is the theatre. So traditions of the theatre. Now, the theatres may be dark at the moment, but they will come back. So let's have a little chat about all things theatre. Okay, so the first thing, there's terminologies, there's words that we use in the theatre. One of them is backstage. So backstage is anything that happens where the audience can't see it. So you've got the dressing rooms where the actors get ready, you've got the scenery, you've got props, all of that is the backstage area. And it's kind of where the magic happens, and the idea is that the audience shouldn't see it. If you are on stage, that means you can be seen, but in the side of the stage, we have the two things called the wings. So obviously a stage is like that, and then the two bits off to the side usually are called the wings. Now, when you're in the wings, so if you're doing something at school or an assembly, or maybe you guys might go somewhere to a theatre to do a show, really important that you are quiet in the wings. If you do any talking, any messing around, there's a danger that the audience can hear you, so they can't concentrate on the show because they're watching some sound, listening to some sound, or watching someone moving in the wings. And number two, it can be quite dangerous. You could trip over some wires or miss your cue or distract the people who are trying to act on stage. So it's really important that you are silent in the wings. Okay, so that's a little tip for you. Make sure you are. There are some silly little traditions that happen in the theatre that they come from many years ago, so I tell you them. The first one is that you should never have real flowers on stage. So maybe if you're watching a show where it's got a living room with a vase, they would never put real flowers on it. Now, it's seen as bad luck, but they think that comes from because if you had real flowers on a stage, you might drop the petals, and that means somebody could slip on them and get hurt. And B, they might drip with water, and there's electrics and lights, so that can be really dangerous as well. But from that, it's become a tradition that you never have real flowers on stage. The only exception is if you are all taking a bow and they bring flowers on at the end, that's fine. Another funny tradition is that you must never whistle in the theatre, okay? It's seen as really, really bad luck. And sometimes I've worked with people, if they hear you whistling in the theatre, they're like, no, stop it, it's really bad luck. If you do whistle, you're meant to go outside, turn around 3 times and come back in again. Again, that whistling being bad luck comes from somewhere. So in the olden days, they had someone called a flyman. Now, a flyman's job was to drop the scenery when the sea changed, okay? And his cue, so he knew when to drop that scenery. Somebody would go like this and whistle. So if you whistled in the theatre and you weren't the person wanting to have the scenery dropped, there's a danger, ow, that it could drop right on your head. So that's why whistling is seen as bad luck. We have a room backstage called the green room. And that's a bit of a funny name because often, even for example, at the Princess Hall, it's not painted green, but the green room is the room where all the actors hang out before they go on stage. So we all get ready in our changing rooms and our dressing rooms, and then we go up to the green room, and it usually has a sofa and tea and coffee and things. But what it has is a speaker, and we can hear everything that's going on the stage. So we know, okay, I've got about 2 minutes to go. I need to go wait in the wings. So it kind of goes dressing rooms, green room, wings, on stage. And when you're in the green room, it's a place for you to be ready to go on stage. But it's also a place that you can hang out between shows, and there's a fridge in there. You can do your tea and coffee and have your lunch in there. So it's a social space. But they don't know why it's called the green room. One guess is that in the very olden days, you'd get a big every village would have a piece of grass called the green, which is where people sort of play cricket, and they did maypole dancing, but they also did plays on here, so maybe they think it might come from that, but they're not really sure. Another tradition in theatre is we never say good luck to each other, because actually that's seen as bad luck, weirdly. So instead, the traditional one is you say break a leg, which seems a bit weird, isn't it, that you're wishing someone good luck by telling them to break their leg. Ow, okay. But they, again, not sure where they come from. There's two theories. One is that if you did a really good show and you kept bowing and bowing and bowing, in the end your legs would break because you'd be bowing so much, which I think seems really silly. The other one is they think is that the string that pulled the scenery up and down was called a leg. Well, it's not a string, it was a rope. And if I'm bowing and then the scenery comes down, if the audience is still going crazy, woo, then they pull the rope, the leg, and it would come back up again. We bow, then it would go down and up and down and up and down and up. And if you guys clapped in the audience enough times, it would mean the rope would break, and that was called the leg. So there you go. They think that might be it. So it's not actually, we're not saying to each other, yeah, get really hurt and break your leg. It's a way of wishing each other good luck. Another tradition is you must never say the name of one of Shakespeare's plays in the theatre. And that play is called Macbeth. Ooh. Now, Macbeth is all about witches and witchcraft, so it's just become a tradition to never say the name Macbeth in a theatre. Instead, you must say the Scottish play if you're going to mention it, okay? And again, there's some actors I've worked with, they get really grumpy if somebody mentions Macbeth because they see it as good luck. If you are on stage, people say you are in the limelight, okay? And that was... in the olden days, before they had lights and electricity, they would burn something called lime, and that would create the light that the actor was standing in. So that's why it's called being in the limelight. So there you go. So that's a few things that we say or that happen in the theatre. But I'm going to give you a little challenge with your with some theatre craft. Okay, so everyone, I want you to imagine that you are all on stage. Okay, so the middle of the screen is centre stage. That is the strongest place on stage because wherever you are, you can be seen. You can see the whole audience, and it's a powerful position being in the centre. So that's centre stage. If I'm on stage, my left becomes stage left, which is this way. Okay, and my right becomes stage right, which is this way. So we've got centre stage, stage left, and stage right. If I come towards you, hello, 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 that is downstage, okay? And the reason it's called downstage is that in the olden days, stages weren't flat. They went up at the back. So if you were standing, it was called a rake. If you were standing further away from the audience, nearer the audience, because you were on a ramp or a slope, that was downstage. If you were at the back of the stage, that is called upstage. So we've got downstage, which is near you, hello, upstage, further away, centre stage, which is in the middle, stage left, which is this way, and stage right. They're the easy ones. It can even start getting a bit more complicated, okay? For example, if I said downstage left, that would be down in that corner. It's almost like you're in a square. If I say upstage right, that will be back there. If I say downstage right, and if I say upstage left, that's over there. Now, the reason we have these directions is to help us as actors to remember where we're meant to go. So if we get our script and the director, that's the man or woman in charge, says to us, right, Rachel, I want you to come on stage left when you say that line. You write in your script SL. And then if they say halfway through, right, I want you to move to stage right, you write stage right. And that's how you remember where to go, because otherwise it would get a bit confusing. So let's see if you can run to the different directions. Are you ready? Stage left. Stage right. Downstage. Hello. Upstage. Upstage right. Downstage left. Centre stage. Upstage left. Downstage right. Upstage. Upstage. Centre stage. Good. Now, something we can do in the theatre is break the fourth wall. So in a theatre, the fourth wall is this bit in front of me. So obviously if you're watching a TV programme or something, the audience, you don't talk to the audience, or it's not like the characters in EastEnders start talking to you or that you can speak to them. But we can break the fourth wall. We can talk to you, okay? Usually on the theatre we pretend that you're not there, but there are certain things like pantomime or children's shows where we do talk to the audience, and that's called breaking the fourth wall, okay? Now, there are two ways that characters speak on their own in the theatre. One is a monologue, okay? So if I'm sat here talking to you and I suddenly doing a really, really long speech talking about the best day of my life, that's called a monologue, okay? But if I'm on stage on my own, this happens a lot in Shakespeare, and there's nobody here and I just start talking, that's called a soliloquy. So for example, if I say, to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler to suffer this, that speech is a soliloquy because I'm no one else is on stage with me, so I'm talking to myself. Hope you've enjoyed finding out a bit more about the theatre and its traditions. If you're interested, go have a little look on your computer, look up some more. If you've got some more traditions that I haven't mentioned that you'd like me to know, put them in the comments below. And if you are already at the youth theatre, I do miss you all very much. I do. And if you don't go already and you are interested, do contact us through the website, because it would be lovely to see some new faces when we go back. Hope you're all well. Thank you. Keep safe and take care.